bonjour à tout le monde. So I start from the last one, the last movie you did, Blonde. Yeah, Blonde. But generally, your films often confront myth, especially American myth, which you deconstruct and simultaneously elevate through iconic figures. And we identify with that. So through this character, you reveal the facade of America and the collective America that often crushes individuals. Yeah. So Blonde is adapted from Joyce Carol Oates. Here is the question. When did you first decide you wanted to turn the book into a movie?
I think what you say about myth is true, right? That there is if you look at it from the outside, the films do seem to be concerned with mythology or American mythology. But that's not the way I think about them. Do you know what I mean? That's not the way that you get into a film. I'm more concerned with the people or the characters of the film, you know. And when you examine them, when you look at their lives and you try to understand what they mean, it's often different from the myth, you know. And so perhaps that's why it looks like it's a deconstruction of myth, but it's certainly not the intention, you know, and it's not something that I ever think about. You know, the idea about Marilyn Monroe was like, I read the book like in 2000, somewhere around there. And I didn't think about making it into a film, but I had a girlfriend who had a miscarriage, and it made me think of Blonde, you know. And I started to reread it again, and I'd always wanted to make a film about how childhood trauma shapes an adult life, you know, like how people are stuck in a childhood drama, you know, and how they then project that drama outwards onto the world, you know. And my first thought was to do it as like a serial killer film, you know, where you show like Peter Curtin or somebody like that who has this horrific childhood and then acts it out, you know. But then when I reread Blonde, I thought, oh wow, I could do this about Marilyn Monroe, you know what I mean? Like, she's somebody who's split in half. You know, she's got a public self and a private self. And the private self can never live up to the public self. And the trauma itself that happened to her is the thing that necessitated the split. You know, because there's a secret, shameful, unlovable self, you know. And then there's the myth, you know, the blonde Marilyn, which is, you know... And in a way, it's like every person can understand that. Every person has a face that they present to the world, and a face that is, you know, private, that you reveal bit by bit, maybe in a relationship or something like that, you know. But with a famous person, it's so much more exaggerated. Like, they literally have a different person, you know. I mean, she literally has a different name. So it was kind of that. It was like reading it back, and then also that it was about movies. You know, it's about projection. It's about, and it's in the 50s, and it's that weird time where psychoanalysis, you know, and method acting sort of overlapped each other, where they were really obsessed with psychiatry. You know. And then basically every girlfriend I've ever had pretty much was an actress, you know, so I'm really familiar with that like subspecies of the female, you know, and I find them very compelling, you know, so it was for all those reasons, I guess. But it was like 2008 when I thought, okay, this could be a movie. And then I just sat down and started adapting the book, and it happened really fast. I mean, it was very exciting to sort of work on it. So,
thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you all.